Instead, they bury the boyfriend. On the streets of Chicago in 2000, 17-year-old Regina DeFrancisco and her 16-year-old sister, Margaret, have everything going for them, but common sense.
They got caught up in a problem there, which a lot of kids did, which was gangs. These weren't stupid girls. These were actually very bright.
Some young women are attracted to bad boys and gang members because it looks exciting to them.
Come back! Oh, yeah.
The main connection with the gangs was Regina. She got involved with a Latin Kings gang member.
After that, everything in their life changed. They started skipping school, their grades dropped.
The only thing Regina is learning about is the drug trade.
How many bags, babe?
Not enough.
Regina was starting to cross over to the more dangerous side of life.
Her boyfriend, Johnny, teaches her all he knows.
Open up!
The couple is arrested for dealing cocaine.
Johnny, what's happening?
Don't say a word, baby.
It was in small packages and a large enough amount that it was clear that she was selling it for profit.
Her mother, who raises the sisters to know right from wrong, is not happy.
Any idea how much money it cost me to bail you out of jail?
For drug dealing.
Their mom and their family was trying to do the very best that they could.
You're going to have to pay me back. Every single penny. Do you understand me?
Regina and Margaret, by their own admission, had a near-perfect life growing up.
Fine.
Mom thinks the girls are listening, but Regina's love and loyalty is now with the gang.
Apparently, as good as their home life was, their new associates offered them something their mom didn't. They became their new family. The gang became more important than their values.
Mom still wants the bail money repaid. And Regina thinks she's found the answer. "22-year-old Oscar Velazquez."
Oscar was a decent guy. There's no criminal activity. There's no arrest record with him. He came from Mexico. He worked hard.
Nice car.
Oh, you like it? I just picked it up a few weeks ago.
Brand new.
Yeah, brand new.
Regina saw Oscar as a patsy with a wallet.
Maybe you should take us for a drive sometime.
Regina starts dating Oscar. He has no idea she has a gang boyfriend.
They dated for about 3 weeks. When it became apparent to Regina that Oscar had some money, it took a different turn. She tried to figure out ways to get the money.
Regina has a sting in mind. She recruits Margaret to help.
What's the matter?
It's Regina.
She tells Oscar his new love is locked away and in need of bail money.
The girls concocted a plan to get the money. They wanted to get $1,000 out of Oscar.
So it's $1,000 for the bail?
Oscar, you're too
No,
kind.
no, it's for your sister, no.
Regina and Margaret played Oscar like a violin. They knew he was a trusting, warm-hearted, generous person.
It's all a lie.
I can't believe it. I know. This is so much money.
Instead of using the money to pay back her mom,
So proud of this girl.
Regina gives it to her boyfriend.
She and her boyfriend went out and bought an old car with it.
This is not an uncommon thing for women that are involved with guys in gangs.
When Regina pretends to get out of jail, Oscar expects his cash back.
He asks for the money back. And Margaret and Regina says, well, you know what? We're not going to give you the money back, but we've got something better. How about a threesome?
It's an offer too good for a young man to refuse. In Chicago, in 2000, teenage sisters Regina and Margaret DeFrancisco swap good grades for bad boys, street gangs, drugs, and deceit. They con 22-year-old Oscar Velasquez into loaning them $1,000, but they don't want to pay him back. The sisters convinced school friend, 15-year-old Veronica Garcia, to get them a gun.
Her friend Margaret kept saying to her, "Can you get a gun? Can your boyfriend get a gun for us?"
You planning on killing somebody?
No. My friends just want to scare some girl.
We want to scare Oscar and get some money from him.
But the sisters have a more deadly plan.
So if you shoot him from there,
And he should land about there.
Margaret and Regina did a good amount of planning for this murder. They put a tarp down on the floor to protect it from blood.
On June 6th, 2000, Oscar arrives at their home on the promise of a sexual adventure.
When Oscar arrived and Margaret asked him, "Does anyone know you're here?" it should have been a warning sign. But all Oscar saw was two beautiful young women, not two potential killers.
Regina goes to the basement, and Oscar's told to go help her.
Go with Regina.
The sisters play out their well-rehearsed roles.
And Regina was already telling him to follow her downstairs.
down here.
As he went down to that basement where Regina was waiting for him, he had no idea that Margaret was behind him with a gun.
You have to have a very cold heart. You have to have absolutely no feelings.
God, that was loud.
Margaret shot him in the back of the head. She didn't want to have a face-to-face confrontation with him. She didn't want any chance of him resisting. She had no history of violence right up to the time she pulled a trigger and killed someone.
The way she described poor Oscar is that he fell down like a baby, and that where she had shot him, his brains were oozing out like cheese.
The minute Oscar's body hits that plastic sheet, the girls are on top of him, searching his body for whatever they could get.
They took his wallet and all of the money. It appeared there was $1,200 in his wallet in cash. They took his sterling silver chain that he was wearing.
What have you done?
Veronica realizes that this is not just a fright night for Oscar.
Shut up and do something! Get the rug!
After they searched his body for all the valuables, they wrap him up in the sheet.
The sisters force Veronica to help dispose of Oscar's body.
They wait until it gets dark outside, and the three of them carry his body. This is witnessed by their next-door neighbor and yells to them.
Hey guys, what are you doing? We're just moving a few things.
And they stuff him in the trunk and drive off.
Committing murder is easy. Getting rid of the body is more complicated. They drive to a vacant lot.
Margaret has brought with her a bottle of nail polish remover. And showing her youth, she thinks that she's going to be able to destroy the body with this.
They're like Dumb and Dumber, these two, using this fingernail polish remover to try to torch a body. It's absolutely ludicrous and absurd.
The flames are impressive, but short-lived.
A little bit of nail polish fluid is not going to incinerate a body enough to not leave evidence of who it is.
When Oscar's body is found the next day, police find an obvious clue.
When police discovered Oscar's body and realized that he had been partially burned with nail polish remover, they knew they should be looking for teenage girls and not professional hitmen.
Regina and Margaret make another mistake. They drive around in Oscar's car and are spotted by his brother.
He identifies both Regina and Margaret as the girls he saw driving his brother's car a few days after his brother disappeared. Regina and Margaret are brought into the police station within maybe a week to 10 days, and both of them deny seeing him, they deny any involvement whatsoever, and they're let go.
It looks like the sisters are home free. There is no evidence connecting them to the crime. But there is a witness, 15-year-old Veronica, and she can't lie very well.
She tries a very simple lie and is easily talked out of that by the police, and she eventually tells the whole story. By now, over 10 days have passed, and Regina and Margaret flee.
The sisters stay on the run for 2 years, splitting up and moving to different states. It takes a national TV campaign to finally track them down. Both sisters are tried and convicted of first-degree murder. At the trial, the only remorse Regina shows is the fact that she was caught.
She didn't cry when she talked about poor Oscar lying there bleeding on their floor. She didn't cry when she talked about how they set his body on fire. The only thing that bothered her is, oh, poor me, what was going to happen to me?
In 2004, Regina DeFrancisco is sentenced to 35 years. The shooter, Margaret, receives 46. The sisters are together in the Dwight Correctional Center in Illinois.
The entire motivation for this crime was profit. This was a murder for money.
These girls didn't grow up on the wrong side of the tracks. They are well-loved teens with bright futures ahead of them. But they choose gang mentality, where money and power is worth more than a life.
What is most shocking about this is their age. And 16, 17 years old, getting involved in this kind of criminal activity is just heartbreaking.
I'm very glad we caught them when we did. If they were able to concoct this sort of a scheme at 16 and 17 years old, what would you be able to do in 5 or 10 years when you're older and have more experience?